Just 1 month after the assassination of Charlie Kirk, conservative podcaster Benny Johnson stood by Attorney General Pam Bondi and described in horrific detail a threatening letter that was sent to his home.
The individual who wrote me described why he wanted me dead. I was a white, cis, Christian Trump supporter.
I'm noticing he skipped one thing. He didn't say straight. Much to consider. Interesting. I don't know. Maybe this guy knew what he was. Maybe this is a homophobic hate crime. It is, after all, coming out day, National Coming Out Day, it seems. So who knows?
They described in great detail how I would be killed in an open field, just like Charlie.
This is so funny to me because like Benny Johnson gets one descriptive death threat and gets to go on Fox News and talk about it, and then the administration is going to take action or whatever. I mean, I don't even know what to say. Like, we probably ban 1,000 death threats in not even a private correspondence, but in a very public setting in this chat every day. That's awesome. It's pretty cool.
This individual described orphaning my 4 beautiful children and widowing my wife with great joy.
Attorney General Pam Bondi says she plans to bring that man to justice.
We have arrested the author of this letter.
Bro, I'm going to keep it real. If we were to arrest if the administration was this proactive with all the death threats I receive, I feel like there wouldn't be a prison large enough to house these people. If I were to do a press conference every time I received a death threat, I wouldn't be able to do the broadcast. I would just only be doing press conferences. To be fair, though, we would be cleaning up the streets. A lot, I mean a lot of pedophile Nazis would be going to prison.
Was taken into custody this morning, and we are charging him federally.
Joining me now exclusively, Benny Johnson. Benny, I reached out to you as soon as I saw this. It is horrifying. I've read the complaint from DOJ. There's a picture of the letter in here. It is absolutely grotesque. And it says that your wife, Kate, a mother of 4, is the one who discovered this. What was it like when she discovered this letter?
Well, yeah, thank you, Kaylee, so much for having me on. It was awful, and I'm still trying to comprehend how anyone could celebrate Charlie Kirk dying, how anyone could celebrate parents being under terroristic threat like this. Charlie, of course, 2 beautiful children and his wife that are left without a father and a husband. How could anybody celebrate that? And it's something that has hit me over the last couple of days, Kaylee, and it's that these people, by and large, they don't understand the joy that is parenthood. The Democrat Party is actually the party of childless individuals in America. 20 points more for Democrats, for childless voters. The Republican Party is the party of parents. They're the party.
Gotta get married, wife and kids, carries a lot of weight with these goons. I mean, yeah, he did do that. Miyaga, make insane asylums great again. Benny's a patriotic American and father, husband, and brother in arms. This is all equally disgusting to witness from overseas, too. America's the world's jewel of liberty and no place for thugs and communists. Is he the gay guy whose wife banned him from going camping? Yeah, he's the gay guy whose wife banned him from going on business trips without her present. I feel like Benny's going to use this as an opportunity to be like, listen, I don't want to threaten your security. You're the mother of my children. I should probably travel alone again. I should probably be allowed to travel alone again, right? Right? Come on, business trips are back on the table.
It's something that I think is really profound when it comes to the threatening nature of these letters against families and against the families here in America, that you have to understand that there is a major cultural difference between the 2 parties. And that is that the Republican Party is the party of parents. All available data shows that. In fact, 55% of all fathers are Republicans in this country.
I don't understand what this has to do with anything. To me, it's like saying, 58% of Republicans like the color red. Like, okay, like what the does this have to do with anything? It's not even like a super significant percentage. Okay, 55% of fathers are Republicans. So what? So you have a 5% advantage on that front? Like what does that mean? What does that mean at all? 100% of people have had 2 biological parents. I just don't understand this.
For young men under the age of 30 that are Republicans, fatherhood is the #1 priority. And so when you're looking at the difference in how people...
Oh, he's trying to present the narrative that it's like the left is anti-family. That's why they want to kill me, because I'm a beacon. I am a representation of the things that they hate, which is being in a committed relationship.
Could tolerate this. I think there's your boundary lines. Republicans are the party of the family.
Well, this individual, there's no doubt about that. And that is the #1 goal of Gen Z men. I remember covering that. When you read this letter, though, this individual, he talks about your followers. And let me read to you a quote he says about your millions and millions of followers. You all need to be exterminated. So this was toward you and toward every single person who ascribes to the movement that animates what makes you you.
Yes, and I don't understand where this hatred could truly come from, and it's hard to really reconcile it, especially when you come from a party of peace.
Bro, that's so funny. As someone who is on the receiving end of millions of death threats, okay, I know where the hate comes from. I'm sure he does too. Yeah, it's because you say shit like, oh, Republicans are the party of peace. That's probably why you do get a metric ton of hatred. Did they just discover what hate comments are? I know. Like, do I think it's good that people play fast and loose with like credible death threats? No, I don't. As the recipient of like I said, millions throughout my career for the past 12 years or so, I would say it would probably be better if I didn't receive it. But at this point, it's just like background noise, you know? It's just background noise. There's not really anything you can do about it. Unless you're Benny Johnson, in which case the attorney general will go and find the person who did this and will prosecute them. But I will tell you, I know exactly where it comes from. I don't agree with the sentiment, and I don't agree with the false characterizations. But I still know exactly what the motivations are behind such a thing like that. It's a person who is deeply, deeply sad, deeply angry, deeply resentful, and finds a sense of community and finds a sense of purpose in their lives by slotting themselves into a specific type of ideology. In my case, the people that are sending me those death threats oftentimes are coming from a multitude of different types of ideology, whether extreme centrists, extreme nihilists, or, of course, a bunch of different reactionary principles, reactionary points of view, whether it be, the pro-Israel crowd, neo-Nazis of different sorts. It is what it is. Red pillars since Andrew Tate, Sam Hyde fans, lolly neo-Nazis, pedophiles. Centrist death threats is so funny, I'm sorry. Yeah. Centrist pro-NATO liberals have straight up sent me death threats. Isn't that funny? Like Ryan Ruth style.
But this is a party that is spiraling, and I think they've lost the debate, Kaylee. And because they've lost the debate, they are going to resort to violence. And it's awful to see. It's something that I don't want for my country. It's something that I want to see resolved. And the only way to resolve it are for Democrats to say enough. How many more of us need to die, Kaylee? How many more times do we need to see our president shot in the head? How many more times do we need to see...
That's such a funny statement. How many more times do we need to see our president shot in the head? Like, bro, how many times do you think it happened? Like, what? That's so funny. Guys, he's getting shot in the head every weekend. It's really fucked up.
How many more times do we need to see ICE facilities shot at? How many more Christian children's praying in churches do we need to see slaughtered? The Democrat Party and the leadership of the Democrat Party need to say enough is enough. We're going to reconcile with the extremist left wing of our party. We're going to acknowledge that we have a problem, and we're going to do something about it. But instead, Kaylee, they are nominating somebody for the Attorney General of Virginia that is calling for exactly what happened to my family yesterday. A man was charged for threatening my family to kill me and to kill my children. Well, John Jay.
Wait, what?
Jay Jones, who's running for Attorney General in Virginia, he's on record doing the exact same thing, calling for...
Whoa, that's crazy. Guy running for Attorney General in Virginia is like, I'm running for Attorney General in Virginia so we can kill Benny Johnson. That's a crazy platform, dude. That's pretty wild. I wonder what he's talking about. The J. Jones stuff is really crazy, lol. This is what they're mad at. Let's see. The private messages offer a disturbing glimpse into how Jones, who is looking to oust incumbent Republican Attorney General Jason Miyares this fall, describes his political adversaries in private conversations. Dem Attorney General nominee J. Jones fantasized about shooting former Virginia GOP Speaker. He receives both bullets. What? Hence the glowing tributes from the R's. Damn, that was from Mark. Sorry, Charlie. No worries. Talking about Joe Johnson. Adiba, basically a R. Leaked everything to your caucus. It's why Gilbert gave him such a glowing tribute. I knew what you were talking about. Served with my dad, who had nice words with a little choice sprinkled in. I didn't look at that. I just saw a guy died and assumed you'd have words. He was a D. They say nice things about everyone, lol. If those guys die before me, I will go to their funerals and piss on their graves. Send them out awash in something. J. Jones. 3 people, 2 bullets. Gilbert, Hitler, and Pol Pot. Gilbert gets 2 bullets to the head. Oh my God. Oh my God. That's a dive. I can't believe that. Spoiler, put Gilbert in the crew with the 2 worst people you know, and he receives both bullets every time. Jay, please stop. Lol, okay. It really bothers me when you talk about hurting people or wishing death on them. You weren't simply asking questions that you know it. I genuinely was. I wasn't attacking you. I was trying to understand your logic. You weren't trying to understand. You were talking about hoping Jennifer Gilbert's children would die. Yes, I've told you this before. Only when people feel pain personally do they move on policy. There isn't. I point blank asked you more than 3 times, and you dug in that you meant it. I honestly am questioning a lot today. I mean, do I think Todd and Jennifer are evil and that they're breeding little fascists? Yes. Bro, this guy is crazy. He was talking about Gilbert opposing gun control in the aftermath of a school shooting. God damn, dude. That is crazy. This is a wild person. That's what I'll say. I don't know how he got this hard. Of course, I condemn this rhetoric, obviously, as I have over and over again. It is pretty wild that in spite of this rhetoric, though, he is like doing fairly well, I think, in the Attorney General's race, right? Isn't he? Isn't there a wait? Oh, no, this is a different guy, right? This is the Dem AG nominee. Text from Democratic AG candidate Royal Virginia governor's race. J. Jones text scandal sparks donation surge as GOP group pours millions. I mean, this just came out. Virginia Democrats defend Spanberger's handling of Jones text scandal. Virginia Democrats are defending gubernatorial nominee Abigail Spanberger's handling of a text scandal that has rocked the Commonwealth less than a month out from the elections. Over the weekend, the governor's race roiled by news that Democratic Attorney General nominee J. Jones has sent text messages expressing violence towards former Virginia House Speaker Todd Gilbert back in 2022. Republicans have since used Jones's comments in which he suggested shooting Gilbert to attack Spanberger amid a national reckoning over the rise of political violence. Spanberger has repeatedly condemned the text, but she notably refrained from calling on him to drop out during a Thursday night debate against GOP nominee Winsome Earl Sears. Many Democrats see it as the right approach, even as Republicans step up their attacks over the controversy.
Understand why you just can't come forward and say he needs to go. I mean, we're talking about murder.
I don't like Abigail Spanberger, obviously, as you guys know, for obvious reasons. I will, however, say that she is cuckoo beans if I'm thinking about the right person. J. Jones said cops should die and fantasize about murdering a dad and his kids, and Abigail Spanberger still hasn't called on him to drop out. That tells us one thing. She's okay with what he said.
We're talking about someone's life being taken from them. Have you nothing to say about that? Are you not going to address it? Really, you can't go any further. You're a governor. You're supposed to stand up for all the people. Are you saying political murder is all right?
It's so wild to me that Republicans get to sit here and act like this is completely out of place in the modern political equation. Like they're trying to play the role of like civility politics here, which I find to be very strange considering that they I've seen their campaign ads. I've seen their campaign ads where they do mock executions, for example. I've seen their campaign ads where they shoot like a 50 cal rifle. Like almost all of them engage in some shape or form of direct incitement to do political violence. And it's not like they have stopped. That's what's so crazy about this, right? Because they haven't exactly stopped. They haven't exactly tried to, really stamp out the violent rhetoric on their own side. Like the president will just straight up go on national television every day and be like, we need to brutalize the Antifa thugs. They're monsters. We have to kill them. We have to shoot them. I'm deploying the military. I'm deploying the military. They're going to go full force. That's what he said. Full force. Whatever that means. Are we being for real right now? Like I'm hearing what you're saying. My understanding is that Jones was leading before today. Now a bunch of Republican sites are claiming his opponent is surging, but are using Republican polls. We'll see what happens. I think it's an interesting situation. Obviously, it's something that I suspect Jones has already apologized for, right? Like, or is it a new text message? Nope. Virginia poll for Attorney General. Jay Jones, 46%. Is this dark woke? I don't know. I don't know what this is. 46% can still vote for this guy? Brutal. To be fair, the threat he made is a bit from the obvious. I mean, yeah, obviously he's not. He doesn't mean it literally, chatters. Yeah, and it's also private correspondence. It's not like, it doesn't actually, it doesn't actually mean anything sincerely. Once again, we have, we're kind of getting manipulated by the outrage farming a little bit. I do understand, though, tensions are high right now, so it does make sense that people would take extra precautions in a situation like this. But he's being hyperbolic in a private conversation. That's what there's a meme about, the boys when the group chat gets leaked, we're all going to prison, that type of shit. Virginia AG Dem nominee Jay Jones issues a more full-throated apology after text revealed he wished to see former Virginia House Speaker Todd Gilbert killed. He says he reached out to Todd Gilbert to apologize directly to him and his family. I take full responsibility for my actions, and I want to issue my deepest apology to Speaker Gilbert and his family. Reading back those words made me sick to my stomach. I'm embarrassed, ashamed, and sorry. I've reached out to Speaker Gilbert to apologize directly to him, his wife Jennifer, and their children. I cannot take back what I said. I can only take full accountability and offer my sincere apology. Virginians deserve honest leaders who admit when they are wrong and own up to their mistakes. This was a grave mistake, and I will work every day to prove to the people of Virginia that I will fight for them as Attorney General. No, that's not a L. Guys, come on. Be for real. Like, Republicans would never apologize, I think, in this situation, and they would just like double down and then point the immediate blame back at like the Democrats. But like, come on, he's staying in the race. Like, I think the only thing I would tweak in this situation is like, gun violence is an atrocity that actually is quite impactful on Virginian communities. And obviously, in my weakest moment, I was overcome with emotions thinking about the numerous victims of gun violence and the inability of the Republican Party to address said violence with competent legislation. And this output and this anger, while the anger itself is just, the way I communicated is completely inappropriate for a person that is, completely inappropriate for a person that's like running for office in any capacity. That's it. I do also want to remind people that, yes, the Republicans ran a man who called himself Black Hitler. The Republicans ran a man who was such a serial, prolific pedophile that he was barred from going to the local mall by the local police department. Republicans ran a person by the name of Randy Fine as well. That's it. That's all I need to say. Randy Fine. So when we talk about like fucked up text messages, private correspondence, and like heated moments or whatever, spoiling, I think the Dems need a little bit, they need to have more backbone, okay? They do. They need to have more fucking backbone in this process. I don't think the voters will punish their elected representatives, especially at a time like this, when the Republicans have straight up completely destroyed whatever standard of normalcy that previously might have existed, whatever standard of civility that previously might have existed. Do I think in this day and age, anyone that has a D next to their name, anyone that goes and reliably votes for the Democratic Party is going to look at those text messages and go, yeah, I'm not voting for this guy. I can't do that. No, they feel the same level of anger. Is it just? No. Should you say things like that? No. Okay, you need to be more careful. But the reality of the matter is, a lot of people are angry. And also, if one side is presenting civility as this thing that we must uphold and the other side has no use for it whatsoever, then you're always going to lose. VA is a super centrist state that has so many ties to the military. I know. Northern Virginia is a stronghold for defense industry contracts. Anyway, You first should be the Dem motto. Let the Republicans condemn first because they never do. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'm too crazy for saying this, but like we have a drunk rapist as the Secretary of Defense, now the Secretary of War. We got an Epstein affiliate that's like stopping the release of the Epstein files as the president, who himself has been credibly accused of sexual assault or found to be at least guilty of sexual assault in a civil court proceeding where the standards are lower than a criminal trial, of course, who's been allegedly, who allegedly raped his wife. Like, what are we talking about? What the are we talking about? Oh, I can't believe this guy said some crazy shit in a private text message to another person in a weak moment. Like, wow. Republicans have set the standard. And then they turn around and go, I can't believe it. Found liable, not guilty. True. Did I say guilty? I meant liable. That's why apologizing is an L. No, I don't. I think like if you are understandably embarrassed by what you said in that moment, then it's appropriate for you to say it. But that's why I also mentioned that he could have elaborated further and been like, these are the reasons why I had a weak and emotional moment. And it's not reflective of who I am, and it's not reflective of a sincerely held like policy position. Come on, dude. He literally said, you know, the dude and his children deserve bullets. Like, that's pretty crazy. I think no one cares about civility politics, but it's good for everyone to rationalize it. If you do an apology, it doesn't change anything. Who are we kidding? Trump is president. No one cares about this shit. I'm just saying, if you feel the need to do right by your constituents, if you feel the need to say something, because the no comment in that situation is going to only elevate it even further. Because like Republicans are going to use this from this day on all the way until the election, right? They're going to use this. They're going to farm it over and over again. It's good to at least have an apology that you can point to so that people go, all right, dude, you're like, it's a private text message that leaked. Like, shut the up. He apologized for it. Calm the down. Like, it does neutralize the argument a little bit.